All right, everyone. This weekend we had some good wrestling, and we had some not good wrestling. Saturday night, Saturday night main event was hot garbage doo doo juice water. There was more commercials than there was wrestling. To be honest, most of the matches were just a commercial with wrestling in between. Seth Rollins and Braun versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn was a good starter. Brought back Bronson Reed. Happy to see that. Joining forces with the Crash Out crew. That's what we call Seth Rollins' group. Then we had Zelina versus Chelsea Green. That match was like 3 minutes long. Maybe Zelina wins. Can't say if it was a good match or not. There was so much commercials in between. Drew versus Damian Priest, really good as well. For what I could see, it did signify Drew taking time off. He's been talking about how he's working hurt. He needs some time off. He has a neck issue ever since that bump at Backlash, I believe it was, where he hit his head on the concrete. Damian Priest still looked strong overall. And then we had, what was it? It was Cena versus Truth next. Really good match, to be honest, all the way through. It was quick, but it did what it needed to do. It elevated Cena still more as a heel, but it's starting to show the breaks in his character of him having hesitations here and there. Truth was able to show people that he can still do it at his age of 757. Really liked the match. I liked the whole build-up. I liked everything around it. It was entertaining. It was wrestling at its finest. Didn't have to be a spectacularly long match. It got its job done right when it needed to be done. And then we had the main event of Logan Paul versus main event Jey Uso, which we already knew Jey Uso was going to win because Gunther's like, whoever wins this match, Jey, I'm going to come after them and beat them. June 9th, I think is what they said the date was. So right off, you already know Logan Paul wasn't going to win. And yes, we know Logan Paul wasn't going to win, but at least give us the element of disbelief sometimes. The match ended in a no DQ or DQ or no contest. Can't remember which one they're going to say specifically. John Cena came down, got the ref, pulled him out of the ring when Jey was about to win the match. 1, 2, 3. And then comes the most boring champion of all time. Yes, even worse than Diesel. Out came Cody Rhodes, that trash can of a champion. And then, of course, inserts himself into another main event spot after being gone. Him and Jey versus Cena and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank. Why? No real good reason for that. That's fine. Whatever. That was that event. I give that a 3 out of 10 because that's how bad it was overall. And then we move on to great wrestling, which was NXT. From top to bottom, every match was at least a 7 or more. Soruka and Kalani Jordan, really good match. I'm trying to remember the matches in order. Alright, so the second match was DeCullen versus Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs, which is ironic because I really didn't remember this match was actually happening until I saw it happen. Really good 6-man, very high energy, a lot of quick movements. Crowd was into it. Hank and Tank are over the moon. Great tag team, love it. And then right at the end, they have what's her name? What's the lady? Izzy Dame. That's what it is. Izzy Dame was trying to come in with a steel chair to help DeCullen out, and out of nowhere, Yoshiki Inamura, I believe that's his name, the Josh Briggs tag team partner, the sumo dude. And dude was looking buff. You know what I'm saying? He leaned down a little bit here, and his shoulders were a little bit wide again. I was like, yo, he in the gym. He's looking good. But overall, it was still a good match. And then you had Tony D'Angelo versus Stack. It was a good storytelling match overall. I didn't like the finale or the way it ended. There was really weird like pacing, and then the end of it was Stacks doing a low blow after, what is that dude's name? Cristofino, whatever his name is, doing a distraction. Um, Stacks beats Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo, I guess at this point, would have been kicked out of the family since he just lost the Don title, if that's what this match was actually supposed to be. Which means that Tony D'Angelo may be coming up to the main roster. Don't know where he goes. Maybe SmackDown. I'd like to see him there. And then we had Stephanie Walker versus Jordan Grace in an amazing overall classic 10 out of 10 match. Both women, great wrestlers, great workers. They had good chemistry. Spot after spot, really well overall. Just entertaining. The crowd was on support of Vacker, of course. So was Booker T. So was I. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what did I say? But no, both of the women showed out, did great moves. Jordan Grace hit a beautiful jumping jackhammer. I don't think it was meant to be that. She just had a lot of momentum, and I believe it worked. And then Jordan Grace also did, I think that's what it was. I think she did the superplex into the jackhammer, and it made it look like she jumped, but it was the momentum taking them. It's a beautiful spot regardless. And then we had a segment where Ricky Saints is doing an in-ring promo. Ethan Page comes out and attacks him, and then he was trying to attack. Ethan Page came out, tried to attack Ricky Saints. He was stopped with security. Then Ricky Saints jumps out on top of security and Ethan Page, challenges him for a match tomorrow on NXT. I don't know why. You're the champion. Don't issue challenges. Let the heel keep doing what he's doing. I am still the biggest in favor of the heel stealing the title to gain his title shot without actually earning it. Those are always my favorite ones. But last but not least, we're going to talk about Obafemi versus Miles Bourne in a really, really good match. In a definitely, oh no, that's not last, but I thought they were going to be last because of the NXT Championship, but the TNA title was actually last. But Obafemi and Miles Bourne might have had the match of the night. Start to finish, really told the story, built up. Obafemi put over Miles Bourne in such a way that makes him look so more viable since Miles Bourne sort of just came onto the main event scene. Great match over between both of them. Crowd was eating it up, but Obafemi's still NXT champion, as he should be. I don't think he should lose until next WrestleMania, and it should be Javon Evans once they keep building him up. But the story of the night, Joe Hendry, the TNA champion, versus Trick Williams. What a good match overall. Both of those guys have good chemistry in the ring. I'd love to see a trilogy between them. I hope we do get a trilogy between them. But the biggest moment of the weekend, Trick Williams is now your TNA World Champion. And they also had the new president of TNA in the crowd, cameras on him. And when Trick won the title, the look on his face was like, hey, this was not supposed to happen. Which I love the point that they're selling it that, hey, it could happen at any moment. Now that we see TNA and NXT actually crossing titles, I would like to see Obafemi be challenged again by another TNA guy. Not say lose it, obviously, but another TNA guy step up to the plate and challenge for the title. But I can't wait to see on Tuesday what's going to happen between Trick and Joe Hendry. And also, does that mean Trick is working more shows because he's going to be on TNA defending against other TNA guys now? I love this. We don't know what's going on. I love the fact that they actually blurred the lines even more. WWE and TNA's partnership, co-op, whatever you want to call it, is phenomenal. It's doing great things for wrestling. It's doing great things for guys who deserve to have TV time. Joe Hendry is the most over guy in wrestling right now. He deserves it. He's putting people over day in, day out. And this just solidified that he is a company man. So let me know what you guys think about the weekend of wrestling. I know AEW had a show, but we don't watch that. But let me know what you guys thought about Saturday night's main event and NXT Battleground. And let's see what happens this week in wrestling. Thank you guys for tuning in.